Hello, I'm Jane Gogodas and I'm so pleased to welcome you to this edition of Beyond the Headlines. This week, we tell the story of an ordinary Monkey Bay woman who has found God in the baobab fruit.
The backyard factory in Jombo, a lakeside village in Monkey Bay, a group of workers is busy labeling and packaging different flavors of baobab juice, jam and refined honey.
Olo sinapita ku school kuti sinapita ku college kwa panopa nditha kufana napo ndopita ku college.
My life is transformed. I don't have college education, but with this business, I live like one.
And we talk to the national chairperson for COMESA Federation of Women in Business on what the federation is doing to capacitate and elevate Malawian women who are in business.
So far, with the Gracia Machel Trust Women Creating Wealth, we have trained more than 50 women who are ready with their pitches, who we are ready to connect them to financiers so that they have to fund their businesses to grow the production.
Glad that you've joined us, and once again, a very warm welcome. Suzan Ali Mzunga, a woman based in Monkey Bay in Mangochi, is making business out of the baobab fruit. The baobab tree is one of the iconic features along the lakeside district, especially along the stretch from Sun and Sand Holiday Resort to Monkey Bay. Operating under the name Hasulu Food Enterprise, the small-scale entrepreneur makes fruit juice and jam from baobab pulp. This is our enterprising story.
At a backyard factory in Jombo, a lakeside village in Monkey Bay, a group of workers is busy labeling and packaging different flavors of baobab juice, jam and refined honey. This is a Sulu food processing factory where baobab fruits are processed and packaged into different flavors of fruit juice and jam. The factory, belonging to 43-year-old Suzan Ali Mzunga, also packages honey. On average, the factory makes not less than 350 bottles a day, limited by the fact that everything in here is done manually, save for this wrapper machine. Her dream is to mechanize her factory to boost production. While many of the women in this area are in the business of buying and reselling fish, Mzunga chose a different path altogether. Equipped with skills and the little experience she gained in distribution and running a timber business, plus a grocery shop, Suzan turned her backyard into a mini food processing factory, producing a variety of foods, including baobab juice and jam, as well as tamarind and honey.
Kunoko ndingayikwatiye nankumba malambe ndambiri nditakhala pasi ntaona kuti kunoko mitengo ya malambe ndiyambiri.
In this area, baobab trees are everywhere, from around Sun and Sand all the way to Monkey Bay. You see lots of baobab trees. That got me thinking that there is business potential for baobab products. Locals usually pick the baobab fruits and sell it raw as it is. I discovered also that when the fruit falls to the ground, it is left to rot. So I decided I could add value to this natural fruit and make jam and juice from its pulp. And then I decided to open this factory. However, I started off with processing honey, motivated by the fact that nowadays a lot of people like using honey as a substitute for sugar. Thereafter, I started making baobab juice and jam. I opened the factory to help women and youths who were just idling and wasting their time. So I mobilized them into groups that harvested the baobab fruit so I could buy from them. In a way, I helped them earn a little income while I added value to the fruit by making natural juice and jam.
Famu malambe muli calcium. Calcium yemwe amene timatha kudya kumafupa koma titha kumwa juice wa malambe topeza vitamin C.
Suzan has all the paperwork required to run a factory, including Malawi Bureau of Standards MBS and Malawi Revenue Authority MRA tax compliance certificates. The factory employs about 25 full-time and a large number of casual workers, including fruit pickers and graders. Bigger steps, so they say, start with smaller ones. What started small in 2020 is now a mini factory, employing about 25 full-time and a large number of seasonal workers.
Zinthu nzosintha pa moyo wanga kwambiri. Chifukwa tili kuyamba kwa business imeneyi, olo sinapita ku school kuti sinapita ku college, kwa panopa nditha kufana napo ndopita ku college.
My life is transformed. I don't have college education, but with this business, I live like one. I've been trained by a number of organizations in production and business management, and I can proudly say I have the requisite skills and knowledge to manage a factory. I have attended several trainings and workshops on how to run a production factory. My life and that of my family has greatly improved. With this business, I educate my children and help my relations. And as you've seen, I help the community by creating employment for women and youths.
Akhandukira nawo ntchito achinyamata ndazimayi omwe kupanga kwatukula miyoyo yawo ya tsiku ndi tsiku.
It's just a matter of time before her factory becomes a fully-fledged mechanized factory. Even though Suzan has no formal qualifications in production and business management, she is not deterred from getting what she wants. In fact, the devout Muslim believes her successes in business is due to Allah and His divine power. But above all, it's trainings from institutions like COMESA Federation of Women in Business, COMFWB, which seeks to develop, promote and encourage women entrepreneurship in the COMESA region, and Small and Medium Enterprises Development Institute, SMEDI, that have made her into an entrepreneur she is.
As of now, panopa ifo timayuza manyo ndibe machine.
As of now, everything is done manually. On a daily basis, we are able to produce 450 bottles or 500 mils. But if it's 250 mils, we are able to produce 800 or even 1,000 bottles. As for 1 liter bottles, we produce between 200 and 300 bottles. My desire is to have production machinery to increase production to around 4,000 bottles a day.
Maina kuti ne mkumbo langa ndamapanga mabotolo 3,000 4,000 pa tsiku kuti ndifike pa level imene ndimafuna moyo mwanga. Komanso kunoko kumabwera alendo osiyana-siyana. Ndemwe alendo amene onso akamabwera kuno.
As you know, Mangochi is a tourist hotspot. It is my desire, therefore, to target that tourist market. I want to supply my products to restaurants and lodging places so that the tourists who come here should drink juices made by Asulu Food Enterprise. I want my juice to replace imported brands like Apple and Ceres. I also want to create youth employment. Most of them turn to natural resources for their survival. I want to create jobs for them.
With time, Asulu food products are gaining mileage and fighting for space in shelves of shops in some districts of the country.
You can find my products in Namwera, Mangochi, some shops in Blantyre, Dedza and in Cheu.
Asulu Food Processing Enterprise gets its raw materials locally. The area has plenty baobab trees. Suzan has groups of women and youths who pick up the baobab fruits and later sell them to her. She's a beekeeper and has 31 beehives, but she supplements her stock by buying from local farmers. This is Losta Chimangeni. As CEO for Asulu Food Enterprise, she oversees day-to-day operations of the factory, besides helping out on production. Losta and Suzan are two women on a serious business mission. Their intention is to grow big, both in terms of production and market reach.
By now, we have a market, not enough due to that. So we are lacking transportation of those commodities of our product. Don't have a solo car for transporting the items and machine as well, which means we are producing in small amount.
My greatest desire is to grow into a big company like Suncrest and be able to supply countrywide. But I lack the machinery and capital to achieve that status.
During the season of materials of baobab, we are not able to reach the maximum amount to yield or to buy those materials. In so doing, having less profit, because the time our customers want our product, we have less in our stores due to lack of inadequate of materials, due to lack of cash, of capital. But if we have an access for donors, for assist us to have transportation and the machine, I hope we will be countrywide.
Mzunga urges women not to confine themselves to the kitchen, but to also venture into business to supplement family earnings. Her story is a testimony that given the right support, women can be a major force in the country's social economic drive.
As you heard in that report, one of the organizations that have helped to sharpen her business skills is the COMESA Federation of Women in Business, otherwise known in short as COMFWB. This agency, formed in 1993, elevates women economically, promotes their economic inclusivity, and integrates them in trade and development activities. Selina Mwenelupembe is the agency's chairperson for COMFWB Malawi chapter. Beyond the Headlines reporter, Beatrice Mwape engaged her on the economic elevation for women agenda. However, she starts by commenting on the economic initiative by Suzan Ali Mzunga.
We are proud of Suzan, the trends she has taken and the development she has done to her business. She is able to meet the standards. As I've said that she's one of our members at the COMESA Federation. COMESA is a big market. So we promote our women that the businesses have to grow so that they have to trade within the COMESA, taking advantage also of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And for the products to be competitive, then they have to go through a lot of capacity building, in branding, marketing. You have to go through a lot of trainings in product development. So Suzan has reached the level of trading at the international level. All what we need now is that they have to grow their production so that they have to meet the market out there.
Comment on Suzan Ali Mzunga's business and her desire to expand and mechanize her business, considering that everything that she's doing it manually.
As I've said, that our activities are to promote women in trade. We partner with organizations which help women with loans, linking them to organizations which they also promote women in trade. So, as you have said, that Suzan now has reached a level that she can export. It's up to us to help Suzan now to connect her into the partners which can invest in her Suzan's business, so that she has to increase her production, so that she has to trade internationally. There are many organizations we are working with. GIZ, KFW, they are coming up with a product to help women. They will do it through MIC. So we are also working with the GMT, Women Creating Wealth. which are training women so that their businesses has to be investor ready. So soon we are going to come up with another news that Suzan has increased her production.
How many women entrepreneurs with similar capabilities is COMFWB Malawi chapter working with, and in which areas?
We have reached to 110 women, and these women are impacting other women, 30,000 women on the grassroots. And so far, with the Gracia Machel Trust Women Creating Wealth, we have trained more than 50 women who are ready with their pitches, who we are ready to connect them to financiers so that they have to fund their businesses to grow the production of their products. So we have women in the agriculture, we have women which are farmers. So it's a cross-section of the value chain, starting from the farmers, processors, then those who are trading up to the markets. So we have women in agriculture, farming, then we have women who are doing agro-processing, we call it value addition. Then we have women who are doing cross-border trade. And then we have women who are in textiles, livestock, and many other types of entrepreneurship.
What are COMFWB Malawi chapter's goals, and how are you going to achieve them, considering the challenges that women have to access finances to boost their businesses?
Our goal is to develop women entrepreneurship through programs that promote economic integration and trade, facilitation women. And we do this by partnering with the organization that also working with the women in development. So we influence policy for sustainable women enterprises. We also support women and youth through business incubators, training, access to information, and B2B networking. We do this also through trade fairs, women taking their products to trade exhibition, both in Malawi and the international trade. That is to help them to create markets. And also we promote credit guarantee schemes for women and youth-led MSMEs through partnering with banks. Now we have partnered with FINES, which is training the women. As I've said, also Gracia Machel Trust, who is training the women to make their businesses investor-ready. And we are talking with the banks and NIF. That's how we are working, because on our own, we just have to connect women.
Why is membership in groups like COMFWB Malawi chapter crucial for women, and maybe what benefits do they get when they join such groups?
As the saying goes, like if you want to go fast, then you have to go alone. If you want to go far, then you have to work with others. The same thing, we encourage women to work in groups. So there is a lot of learning, as I've said, that business to business. And there is a lot of inclusiveness. Even the government now is encouraging SMEs to work in groups, cooperatives, or any other form of entrepreneurship groups. It gives a social security to the financiers, and it gives confidence that people, if they going to abscond, they know where to get someone, or if one absconds, then the rest in the group, they will take it up. Yeah, so that's why we encouraging women to work together. But also women, if they are working together, they encourage each other, they learn from each other, and it becomes a trend. So I'm encouraging those women who have not yet joined groups. They can be part of us, COMESA Federation of National Association of Women in Business. They can come as a social entrepreneur, but also they can come as a cooperative. They can come in any form of entrepreneurship to be our members. They are very welcome. We are in the northern region, central region, but also in the southern region.
What partnerships and collaborations is COMFWB Malawi chapter exploring to enhance women entrepreneurship?
As COMFWB, because as a business person, you have to think of finance. At the same time, you have to also to think of markets. I've said already about linkages with the financiers, the financial institutions, which are banks, credit development partners, but then we also looking for linkages to create market access for our women. And these ones nationally, like outlets, super rates, like shopping malls, but also we want to create our own market where we have to work together with Best Buy Malawi so that women, when they are producing, then they know that they have a ready outlet out there.
Now, in view of this sad development, Church's Action in Relief and Development card, with funding from Jersey Overseas Aid, JOA, and Scottish Catholic International Aid Fund, is implementing a project to financially empower communities in the basin to be financially self-reliant while combating effects of climate change and restoring the degraded environment. Lawrence Muntali is the Resilience and Livelihoods leader of Trocare, a development agency through which the project's funds are channeled. We asked him how the project intends to restore the degraded Lake Chilwa Basin.
The Lake Chilwa Basin is one of the most productive lakes in Malawi. It provides a lot of livelihood support to about over 1.5 million people who are living in the Lake Chilwa Basin. We're talking about Palombe district, we're talking about Zomba and Machinga. Beyond that also, it supports the livelihood of surrounding communities beyond that because of the rice it produces and also the fish which are coming from the lake. So the idea is that we take care of the rivers, the 7 rivers, the main rivers which are feeding into the Lake Chilwa Basin, and by doing that we will conserve the Lake Chilwa Basin and also make its use sustainable. That is our aim of the program.
We went over there and we talked to some farmers, rice farmers more especially. They're saying things are not okay. Almost the rice business is falling down. They're not yielding enough rice and such. How do you want to sustain the livelihoods of these people?
One of the interventions which we're doing is we want to support the farmers with agroecology, but also we want to support them with improved seed and also improved agronomic practices. The idea is that they should be able to harvest higher yields within the same plots of land and also use improved breeds, plus also use better agronomic practices. At the same time, limit the use of synthetic chemicals or herbicides, which will mean that the cost of production will be lower. We have noticed that. I mean, last year it was an El Nino year. That is a different year altogether. Hopefully this year the forecast which the Met Department has released is showing that it is a normal to above normal year. We are hoping that the rice use for this year will be better than last year.
So you're expecting the lives of the people to change from where and to where?
So the Lake Chilwa Basin program is an integrated program. There are different components of the program. One is looking at diversifying their livelihoods. So we're providing them with livelihood support, providing them with livestock, different livestock. We're also providing them inputs for their crops. We're providing them training in agroecology so that they can limit the use of synthetic herbicides. We're providing them with financial redresses through the VSL, Village Savings and Loan. We're also supporting them with other businesses, including providing them with beehives so that they can also generate income from that. At the same time, they are also conserving their natural resources. So the blend of these, the multiple interventions which the communities are participating in, would facilitate that some of these households would improve their income sources from generated not only from one source but from multiple sources of income. That is the hope of the program.
And so far, what is it that you're seeing on the ground?
So far, we have seen that some of the communities which we have provided beehives last year have started harvesting the the honey from the beehives. We gave them bee processing, honey processing equipment, which is helping them to market this. Now the gap which we have is, which is existing, is that we need to find markets, better markets for this community. So that's why we are in the process of building these groups into cooperatives so that they can source bigger markets. Some of these farmers participated in the National Agriculture Fair and were linked to potential buyers for their honey. That's our hope.
And in terms of the environment, what is it that you're seeing?
So far, no, we can't say anything positive about the environment now. We are in the second year of the program. It would be too early to call it to see that the impact of the program is taking shape. We may see some improvements in the third and the fourth year of the program.
But you're very hopeful.
We are very hopeful. We have seen the support from government, the communities which we're targeting, and also other stakeholders in the community who are very interested in the program.
Let's end this edition the way we started, and that is with the story about the iconic baobab tree. But this time, it's not about the nutritious value of its fruit, rather it's about its spiritual significance. In some cultures, the baobab tree is revered as a sacred place where ancestral spirits reside. Well, the baobab tree Omtengo wa Malambe, as performed by Ben Mankamba at Sons of Malawi in Blantyre. On that note, we end this edition of Beyond the Headlines. As always, we'll always be glad to hear from you on any of the stories we carry. Feel free to give us your comments on the number scrolling just below or on MBC Facebook page. I'm Jane Gogodas. It was a real pleasure having you. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.